Good morning and welcome back to Millennial Thoughts, episode 3 with Alicia and Nisa. We would like to first shout out our people who gave reviews and rated our podcast. We would love for you all to rate, comment, and subscribe. And we hope that this sound quality is awesome because we are together in the same room. So shout out for that.
Shout out to Math Cafe on Barrett Avenue for allowing us the space to record this morning. Everyone come out and grab you a Frappuccino.
Yes, come out here and get
some liquids, some snacks.
They have events all week, so shout out to them.
Yes.
And today our millennial mogul is going to be Tiana Taylor.
Yes.
And I just want to say that she is so bomb out here. First of all, she's like a mogul. She be singing, she be dancing, and she mother, and she just went on tour. And I think that's so awesome.
She looks amazing. And it's funny because we shouting her out like we know her personally, but we follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's like we somewhat know her personally.
Yeah. So y'all, if y'all ain't listen to her album, go listen to her album. Mm-hmm. And she's going on tour. And her baby is so adorable.
They just like twins. They're like she's like a spitting image of her mother. So cute.
So so that's our girl today and forever. I love her.
So how's your week been, girl?
Girl, my week has been awesome. You know what? Because I've been doing nothing.
Okay.
I've been doing nothing. I'm getting prepared, to go all the time for my birthday, actually. Mm-hmm. And as well as get prepared for the school year. Sometimes you just need a mental and physical break before school starts. Yes. Shout out to everybody else because for real, I have to get prepared to move and everything like that. And that's just a lot going on. So right now I'm just chilling, watching TV, relaxing.
That's it.
How about yourself?
Well, it's been a pretty good week. Just been busy, working, still, trying to find some passive income ideas because while I'm working now, that's not what I ultimately would like to do. Ideally, I would like to just, sleep for about 8 hours a day and make about $10,000 while I'm sleeping. So that's where that passive income comes in. Maybe we'll have an episode about that, how to make side hustles and how to make passive income. So that's
anybody out here know, let us know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make this money.
And passively, okay? Yeah. It's easy. Everyone can work and stuff, but how you passively do it in your sleep, that's what we would really love to know. So let us know.
Let us know if y'all out here making passive income. We need some teachers and some schools.
Yes, so we can travel during the summer, travel all year round,
Mm-hmm.
Eat brunch every day because that'd be expensive.
Yes, let us know about that. So today we thought that the topic would be about self-worth, and we thought that we should talk about that. But considering the different things, like what happens at in your career, at your job, and things like that, and as being a millennial, how sometimes it can be hard to try to prove yourself at work and they might not take your ideas and things like that. So just a topic of discussion about that. Let us know how you all feel about that. Let us know, has it happened to you or stories or anything like that? We would love to hear them so that we can.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna pull a DJ Envy. So for everyone at home,
if y'all don't know
what is for everyone at home who doesn't know, what is self-worth? What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you, Alicia?
Well, I think self-worth is different depending on if you're focusing on career, if you're focusing on who you are. So with self-worth and knowing what you bring to your team, I think that's in general. Self-worth, what you bring to your team, who you are in general. I believe self-worth is just knowing that you bomb at the end of the day and that you're giving this job everything and more, so they should treat you like that and they should pay you like that. What about you?
You brought finances into it. So with self-worth, I honestly, since I've kind of gone through some career changes lately, when I think of self-worth, I think of this all-encompassing value that I hold, I guess, myself accountable for. It could be in a relationship, it could be in a job, like you said, but really at the end of the day, it's about knowing your value, knowing what you can contribute to a person, to your job, or to the world, or to a team in general. So I think that having a good sense of self-worth will kind of, it can protect you from a lot of things, because there could be situations that you could be in, but because you're quote unquote self-worth, you might stray away from a little bit. It's like, I'm worth more than I'm not going to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it means to me. For everyone that don't know.
Yeah, let us know what self-worth means to y'all.
Right.
Shout out to the Breakfast Club because they be cracking me up every morning.
Absolutely. And shout out to this green tea that I'm drinking because it is the bomb. I'm using agave. It's like, I think it's like agave. It's like this sugary substance. It's like a natural sweetener, but.
Yeah. I don't even drink tea, so.
Yeah. So what are some real world instances to where your self-worth has been tested? Show me some things where you've had to evaluate your self-worth.
Well, not necessarily. I honestly don't really think I had to do it too much to an extent. I'm not really in like I would say the professional world or something like that to an extent, but I can see where that I would have to like maybe in the future be like, okay, well, this is what I can bring and this is what I have. So basically, like, this is what you need to pay me or this is what you owe me, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think thinking about that now before I go into professional careers where I'm at, I really haven't had to prove like anything for real to anybody. I really don't have a professional job out here, but it's okay, y'all.
No,
next year, I'm gonna have one.
And I noticed that a lot. Like you use self-worth and you kind of quantify it in terms of money.
Well, that's how I guess I've seen it.
No, and that's fine
because they be like, they like, no, you're working ad tax. I really don't know nothing about that. But I'd be like, okay, y'all want to charge for everything. But when I think about it now, I guess they turned it into more like what you make and like how much you make and things like that. So thinking like that, I think that's like self-worth, like
okay,
like to a price.
Sure, and that's interesting because they have. I use this app called Glassdoor whenever I'm searching for a new job, and there's this tool where you can like type in your credentials and how much experience you have, and it literally tells you. It doesn't say self-worth, but it tells you what your value is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that can be a little bit problematic sometimes because it's like this black and white formula that's literally telling you how much you deserve to get paid. When really there's a lot more things that go along with it. Like in a minute we'll shift to, I guess, the personal side of it. Now we're focusing on the career side, but yeah, I mean, a lot of things go into it. There's plenty of people out here without college degrees that are literally leading projects and spearheading things every day that are making about, $14, $15 an hour. But it's based on, these credentials that HR managers think you should have, but you don't. And because you don't fall into that category, you're not paid what I feel like a lot of people deserve. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of some examples.
Well, yeah, I guess I do understand what you're saying. It's like we shouldn't value our worth on monetary things. Sure. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that and what I'm saying is, in this, since we're focusing on the professional right now, I'm just saying like, there's like, I feel like there's preset, I guess, formulas to how much you should get paid based on your experience and based on this and based on that. And really, I can see where they get these numbers from. Like, for example, accountants are usually paid between $45,000 and $55,000 a year. I know a few accountants that don't do anything, making almost six figures, and I know some people that are on the lower level, really doing that day-to-day work and getting paid like the bare minimum. So, I mean, I don't know. I think when you ask other people to value you,
like know their self.
Yeah, it's kind of, it can be tricky.
Yeah,
it can be tricky.
Understand. I do understand because I'm like, okay, like what? That's probably like, what does that mean? Like, no, you're working ad tax, like this, no, you're working ad tax, and everything and stuff like that. Yes. But when I be telling you about this digital media, they be trying to know your work ad tax, add on some extra stuff after that, and add on this and that. And I'll be like, y'all, come on now.
I know.
So that I can see where that is like problematic.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, like your value, like know who you are and value yourself.
Sure.
And then like just know what you can bring to the table. I guess that's career. I guess it's in your life, in your friendships, and like everything.
Absolutely.
Well. Like, don't get treated dirty because you know who you are.
Exactly.
Yes, we understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do. But don't be trying to be out here talking about I need to get paid $100,000 and because you do a couple of
no
things.
Tea, no shade.
Yeah, no shade to the graphic designer. It's no shade. It's just like in this social media world.
Yes.
It's like everybody trying to add work, add tax, add work, add the tax. And it's just like, y'all, well, like everybody out here doing the same thing. And honestly, everything kind of looks the same to me. So it's just like, let's not try to negate like, oh, I'm so worthy of this and that, which you are worthy of that, but like putting money to your worth sounds kind of different when it's like you're worthy in general without that job. Like your self-worth should not be so consoled to a job.
No,
and
absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
No, absolutely. And another thing, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying about it really can be problematic because I think we're in the age, and I think entrepreneurship has always been a thing, but I'm noticing a lot more now. Like, and I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I see a lot of people, like you were saying, you know, it can be really hard to price yourself. I actually struggle with that myself. I have my own bookkeeping company, accounting company, and I struggle with, I guess, pricing my services and pricing my time because it's like, I personally, I'm Team Leo. I think I'm the absolute, curse word. I don't want to cuss on here. I'm the absolute, and so I could easily say, okay, I want to be paid this for my services, but the type of clientele that the type of clientele that I attract and the type of clientele that I actually desire to work with, it's definitely out of a lot of folks' price range, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then it kind of makes you have to look at yourself and say, okay, what's not what am I really worth, but what can my, how can I translate my worth to people without just being too crazy and too out here? You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's something that you have to work up to, because not saying that you don't really need that money or you don't expect to make that money, but it's like, honestly, everybody's out here trying to get this extra coin, but everybody's out here just starting. So there's no way I'm going to try to pay you $2,000 for something. And I'm your first client. I don't know what you can do. You don't have no resources. You don't have anything that I can see that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it is. It's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that people can know their self-worth while at the same time constantly being reflective in
of what they bring to the table.
Yeah, what they bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that we should all have the utmost confidence. We should all have, we should all look at ourselves very highly. But, realistically, right?
We shouldn't put a price tag on self-worth.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't put a price tag on self-worth. And things ought to be separated as far as if you're an entrepreneur, your self-worth can be high. But when it comes to either the quality of your services or the actual services you're providing, that needs to be separate, but not separate at the same time. It's really tricky. We don't have an easy answer for this, but we're just bringing these ideas to the table.
Yes. Well, yeah, because it's great to pride yourself in your career and things like that. So I guess it's focusing on entrepreneurship versus a company. In a sense, if you think about self-worth and things like that,
let me ramble for a second. I've had a few jobs where I was paid well, and honestly, I'm going to say that I was underpaid, and I know that sounds like a contradiction, but let me explain myself. So while my paychecks might have been good, the type of things I was having to go through at the job, or the type of environment it really wasn't speaking to how I valued myself. Mental health was something that I felt like was being neglected. And because I knew my self-worth, I had to walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that self-worth is, inherently an intrinsic. Yeah. It's really personal. So keep in mind this. So that being said, this example has nothing to do with money. I said I was being paid well, but because I knew my self-worth and what I deserved as an employee, I decided to walk away.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely understandable. And that's what it is. Okay, knowing well, we talk about careers, we talk about titles all the time, but like titles, if you're in the company, that's like it's like a 9 to 5 title, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not your title. Well, it's your title all the time, but it's like when you're at work, and sometimes you put too much in titles like, yes, I deserve this, I deserve that, I deserve that. But that's true. Like, no, if it's a toxic place, whatever, then you don't need to be up in that job position. Or you need to be doing that because literally, what does that mean? You're making all that money, but you don't do nothing.
Absolutely. And I'm really glad you brought this up. I was going to make a rant about this on Facebook, but I just never got around to it. So maybe we can talk about it now. Self-worth by means of title on your position. I feel like so many people are so worried about their title. They're worried about their position, and
like they get caught up in it.
They get caught up in it. So you might have someone who's miserable as crap in their job, but I'm the senior project manager for X corporation. Okay, how are you doing? How are you doing mentally? Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really not all about your title, because honestly, I would love to find a lucrative career to where it didn't sound as impressive. It didn't come up on one of those, dating surveys about who you should date if you want a happy life and a bunch of money. Like, it really shouldn't be about your title. It should really be about the work that you're doing, if you're enjoying it. So,
yeah, I feel that one too. I do feel that one too, and I do feel like people like get all caught up into like career titles and things like that. That could be something, another thing. But it's just like, it's literally like you need to know who you are, the self-worth coming into that, and then the title, like you said, like, oh, I'm the vice president, I'm the CEO. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but we still over here working in the same company, we still doing the same thing, and that's when I think like sometimes it's hard to talk about the value or whatever, because like they think they're valued so much, and then they forget about the people like on the bottom per se, which like the entry level or something like that, and you're like, what? I'm gonna work for you.
Yeah. And then, so really, not everyone wants to climb that corporate ladder. I thought I did starting out, but that's definitely not what I want to do. I want to be home by 4:30 or 5 o'clock every day to eat my dinner and not think about work. You know what I'm saying? And absolutely no shade to the people that are doing that type of work, because I think it's great if that's what you're enjoying doing, but just realize that it's not for everyone, and you shouldn't try to impose that on everybody. Not everybody wants to be that, that heir to the throne, the corporate throne, you know what I'm saying?
And I guess speaking like from like a millennial perspective, we're talking about that. It's like, okay, yes, y'all know y'all self-worth there, because a lot of us, we do have college degrees, we do have this, so like, don't be trying to get paid under and stuff like that. Like, fight for it and figure out what you need to get paid, and also go somewhere that you enjoy, because as I guess as a lot of millennials, like, we don't want to be somewhere that we're not valued. We don't want to be somewhere that's not there.
Yes.
So in that thinking, it's like, okay, well, let me see if this job is for me. Let me see if I can do this, because it is kind of a known. I know that we were talking about like people think that millennials don't know how to do nothing. It's like, no, we do know how to do things. We just know how to do things in different ways.
Absolutely. So and I think that's funny you say that. I really think that we're going to see a shift. At least I hope we do in the corporate structure in the next few years. I don't know when, but I really hope, because people aren't staying at jobs for 30, 40 years anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, in certain positions, yes, but they about to retire anyway. But like,
the baby boomers.
Yeah. So, they're about to get out of there. And then, we're going to be, say we, the millennials, we're going to be there. And like she said, we like to be valued. We like to see change. And kind of referencing what Oprah said, we have to check ourselves and remember that it's not going to come overnight and it takes work. But at the same time, I think that millennials, we want to see something different from the status quo. We want to see that you're doing this and who are you helping? We want to see social corporate responsibility, things like that. So I really think that millennials are going to drive a change in the corporate structure, and hopefully, I mean, I might get if that's the way, I might get my way back there. Sure. Hello, hi guys, how you been doing? I'm back.
What's that called? I have no whatever it's called to be in corporate.
Oh, no desire.
Okay. No desire.
It's early.
Yeah. No, oh, yeah. It's like
by the way, we woke up just to record this podcast for you guys. So you're welcome.
Yes, because something wasn't working. I don't even know what it was. Our recorder plan wasn't working, Wi-Fi and everything. It was Satan was just trying to get us, and we let him get us. So we still recorded.
Woke up early on today.
But I have no desire to be in corporate America at all. And I'm really over here thinking this entrepreneurial life sounds good, 9 to 5. But honestly, growing up, the healthcare and stuff, all that is real out here. Mm-hmm. So it's okay, so do you want to do this 9 to 5? Do you want to do this entrepreneur thing? What do you want to do? And going back to being a millennial, it's okay, well, let me see what I want to do. Let me see where I want to go and where I can do the most work. And I think that's a lot of millennials. They want to do the work. They want to be involved in the social services and things like that. Yes. So I don't know where corporate America is going because everybody's over here passion.
Prices. It's just going to be all nonprofits and social entrepreneurship, which I'm cool with. Everyone at home, Google social entrepreneurship. We had a conversation about this, I think yesterday or something. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting. Basically, think of a nonprofit, but a for-profit nonprofit. So essentially what social entrepreneurship is you having a for-profit business, but you're not really focused on the bottom line. You're focused on who the stakeholders are in the community and making things better for the community. So, that was a quick aside. So everyone check that out. And I know we have a lot of entrepreneur curious followers out there. So maybe take a look at that, and that might lead you in a direction that you're trying to get at. So just look that up.
And just let us know. Mm-hmm. And since we are Leos and we was born in August, if we have any August listeners out here, let us know. We'll shout y'all out on the podcast. Well, happy birthday in general. Mm-hmm. Let us know what you're doing. We'll shout y'all out. And we were thinking about doing it for every month. But August is the best month of the year. And
I agree.
There's no arguing about that.
Nope.
So, So stay tuned for some words of wisdom from Oprah Winfrey. That's our girl. Shout out to her.
I was getting paid $22,000, and the guy who I was co-anchoring with was getting paid $50,000. So I went into my boss and I said, he's getting paid a lot more money than I'm getting paid. And you know what my boss said? Why should you make that much money? In 1980, he said, why should you make that much money? He said, he has kids. Do you have kids? And I said, no.
I cook for 5 and you cook for 1 or 2.
He said he has to put his kids through college. He has a house payment. Do you have a house? And I said, no. And he said, so tell me why you need the same amount of money. And I said, well, because we're doing the same job. He says, I don't think so. And so I thought, I'll show you. I was 19.
Welcome back. So hopefully you all enjoyed those wonderful words of wisdom by Oprah.
Thanks for listening. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And join us next week when we talk about personal development. Have a great week.